What's up, Paxies? Please welcome to the stage from GEARBOX Software, Paul Sage and Randy Pitchford.
How's it going, everybody? It's a big moment. Feeling good? Paul's pretty stoked. Paul's creative director on a new Borderlands game. We've been working a lot together. There's a lot of people back home that have been working on this thing for a long time, and I'm getting kind of choked up because this is the first few people are going to have it today. Hey, you're stuck here for an hour?
Yeah!
We might even stretch it a bit. We're gonna show you a bunch of cool stuff. I promise you, we're gonna finish big. And you're probably, I think you're gonna like what we're gonna share. I know there's like a lot of thinking, like, what is this next Borderlands game? You know, it's gonna be like Battle Royale or something. Games are fun. That's not what we're making.
Yeah! Woo-hoo!
So I thought, okay, so Paul and I are going to talk a little bit about some of the things you saw in the teaser, and then we'll go into a bunch of other stuff, and then we'll finish big. I promise. Do you guys like the teaser?
Yeah!
All the assets that went into making that sculpture are assets created by the folks at GEARBOX Software on the next Borderlands game. And I don't know, what do you think we should look at first? So like you notice there's like lots of little details in it, right? It's the first glimpse at the villains of the game, the cultists. Now, obviously you want to see some familiar faces. That is Tiny Tina. She's actually a little older now. You know what? I'm going to do something that's actually not on the script. I was talking, there's so many awesome people in the community. You know, we build all this stuff digitally. And
He's freaking out.
What Paul was saying was that it's inspiring how when we make stuff digitally, that people in the real world manifest some of the stuff in the real world. And I was earlier talking to some of the cosplayers. Would you guys stand up and like show off some of your, So cool. And some of the cosplayers actually like reached out to me on Twitter, and like I follow some of them. Just hit me up, and I usually like to follow people that do cool stuff. And a couple of them I actually like did NDAs with. And I sent images of some of the things that are going to be in the game so they can kind of get started. And one of you guys actually made something like 3 days. You know, would you mind coming up here? I want to show this out. Sorry, I can't get you. This is Casey, right? So some of you guys have tweeted about Casey. Unbelievable, Tiny Tina. Casey made Tiny Tina's new mask in 3 days. You guys have no idea how inspiring it is to us as creators to see the stuff in the real world that we can only dream of digitally, right? It's crazy. So let's see what else we got. So obviously, you know, a lot of characters from Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, but you'll notice standing on the pile of bandits, dead bandits. That's Vaughn from I love Vaughn, great character, and Vaughn, of course, is from Tales from the Borderlands. And also you can see Aurelia from the pre-sequel, and they're in the game. And let's see what else we got. All those guns, by the way, there's the whole sculptures made of guns, and they're all in the game. You can see Tinks. I don't know if you noticed this. Some of you guys have already figured this out, but if you watch, I know some of you are going to scrub through this thing. If you watch closely, you can notice right there, actually zoom in on that. That's a piece of a shift code. And that's only 5 digits, and shift codes are 5 by 5. And some of you guys follow me on Twitter, and I tweet shift codes. And if you have Borderlands 2, you could use that shift code right now, and you'll get some entitlements. There's been a lot of people, like we made community day skins way back in the day that we only released once for people that showed up to our community day. So like maybe 2,000 people in the entire world ever got them, but we've decided to unlock them with these shift codes. So this shift code unlocks one of the community day skins. I believe Zeros, but I might be wrong there. Salvador, thank you. And see, somebody's already ahead of it. Zero's coming, and there's going to be other Easter eggs hidden throughout. In fact, go to the next slide. These are the villains. We'll talk about them more later at the end of the show. But actually, play the clip. Right, so this is a sequence. I don't know if you guys noticed, you're probably looking at the villains, but did you notice in the top left corner there was a blinking light? Here, loop it again, Yep. That's actually Morse code. And if you translate that, what is it? Yeah, it says, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. There are some fun messages hidden throughout. That's not the only one. You'll find some other messages. Paul, what should we talk about next? Let's see, what do we got next here? Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good point. So Paul wanted me to point out that that's Amara. She's one of the Vault Hunters. You're going to see a lot more of her later. But Paul wanted me to make sure that, like, when you see there's a rack, there's a skag flying on a rack. Like, go back one. Skags will not be mounting racks in the game. It's just some fun, goofy stuff that the folks have built this model asset to. Also, go forward one. There's a zoom in here. That's Moxie. You get out your magnifying glasses, you can get a look at what she looks like now. But the guys that made the model also got creative. Moxie's bar is in the game, but that's not it. That's some rundown. Like, her bar is awesome. That's cool, but her bar is really cool, and you'll see more of that later. So there are some things in here that might give you some wrong impressions, but we were just having fun. So as more details about the game come through, you'll get all that. One other thing, like this thing here. Move ahead one. And I don't know if you guys caught this. That's obviously Handsome Jack's mask. We threw that in there because we're assholes. Handsome Jack is dead, okay? He's dead! You killed him! He's dead!
On the other option,
Not even a New Year's station is going to bring him back at this point. But we're jerks, so we put that in there. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Feel free to dig through. You'll notice, like, even in the roses, there's detail. There's guns everywhere. We got Lilith front and center here. There's a new character that we'll introduce later that's hanging out there off to the side. You probably recognize Hammerlock, but on the other side, or somebody that you'll find out later. Ellie's in there. Marcus is in there. Yeah, Scooter. Sorry, Scooter, you didn't make it. You guys, this has been a lot of fun, but we're just getting started. That was a tease. That was just a tease. We're gonna come back. I promise you we're gonna finish big. And I'll be back later to talk more about Borderlands, talk more about the next game. Right now, one of the things I wanted to do was take advantage of this moment, because there was a time when GEARBOX was a tiny little independent developer, when we had to just scream from the tallest mountain just to get any attention. I remember the first time we came to PAX and they put us in a room that barely fit 200 people, and when it wasn't even full. Look at this, you guys are incredible. Like, holy crap, thank you guys. And when we founded GEARBOX Software, my vision was that this isn't a means to an end. Like, back then, there wasn't really any money in games.